on Chestnut Street in Austin, Texas, January 2nd, 2015. Looking at a buffered bike lane on each side of the road. Looks like parking was removed recently. We'll verify with the city soon. You can actually see some of the old lines faintly right in the middle here. Bike lane says Route 59. Numbering your bike lane system is a good touch to a transportation system. But the focus of this video is to look at this buffered bike lane system. Austin has several buffered bike lanes, as does Portland, Oregon, and several other cities, to make cycling more comfortable, enjoyable, and safe. This bike lane is about 8 feet if you count the concrete gutter pan. The buffer looks to be about 3.5 feet, with these hatch marks going off to the left, slightly diagonal to the left, which is a signal to motorists to stay out of the buffer and allow cyclists a little bit easier transition if you have to make a left turn to a left turn pocket. But with this land use, with the houses set back, drivers tend to go a little faster, so the buffer does provide more comfort. Now, we lost the buffer for a moment at that intersection because the left turn pocket was put in, which is a good design in our opinion. Again, we had the buffer for a moment, buffer disappears, still a 7-foot bike lane, left turn pocket put in, left turn pocket disappears, the buffer reappears. You can see up ahead, buffer disappears, left turn pocket put in. Buffer separates drivers and people on bikes a little bit. A little less comfortable as the left turn pocket comes in this case a left turn lane. So drivers get a little closer to the people on bikes. Little dashed line lets motorists know coming out of driveways that they are crossing a facility. And this bike lane is taken right up to the intersection, which we think is important. These look to be 10-foot travel lanes, which is a good dimension for drivers. On the other side, that bike lane is very skinny, too skinny, and the travel lane is very wide. Details matter in a transportation system, but only after you get the big picture done well. And on more major roads, not neighborhood roads, you typically would want a bike lane, at least a 5, if not 6-foot bike lane, and then preferably you have enough space to do a buffer. This is a wide travel lane that looks to be well over even 12 feet, so a buffer could be put in here. Regardless, it's a continuous bike lane here on Chestnut Street in Austin. The bike lane has many functions, more so than just making people on bikes feel more comfortable and safe. Drivers can pull over to let emergency vehicles pass. It's a bit of a breakdown lane. Takes drivers a little further from anyone walking on the sidewalk. You can see the faint old bike lane line, so they did move it over about 2 feet. There is a school of thought that if you make your bike lane too wide, drivers may drive in it. But if it's a solid white line and you have periodic signs and stencils, that should not be an issue. And with education and enforcement, a wide bike lane would tend not to be an issue of having drivers be in it, and if it happens now and then, it's not that big a deal. And now we're coming up to a major intersection. The bike lane's lost, which we don't like that. It's not as safe. People less comfortable on bikes generally don't want to mix with higher volume, higher speed traffic. But in general, this facility on Chestnut, this bike lane, Route 59, is a good facility, and it looks like Austin's on its way to being a good bicycle town.